Hey, Adam,
What's up?
how much can you lift?
About 225. Good day.
225 pianos?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm Adam Menace.
And I'm Peter Martin.
You're listening to the You'll Hear podcast.
Daily jazz advice coming at you.
Coming at you today. Today's episode is brought to you by SoundSlice, our brand new sponsor. We love SoundSlice. We use them here at Open Studio every single day.
Right.
Almost all of our courses have some kind of SoundSlice on them. We love to transcribe with it. Go to soundslice.com. Check out our version of our theme song, Emotion in Motion, by the wonderful Peter Martin here on yesterday's lesson, and you can see exactly the music as it's playing the track. It's incredible. And then check out all the other things that SoundSlice has. The community, the slices.
Yep.
It's all good.
Yeah. So wait, why don't we get that emotion in the community there? Can we do that?
It's done.
Oh, it's done.
It's done, buddy.
Oh, well, go check it out in the community.
That's what I'm saying. What do you think I'm talking over here about?
Yeah, SoundSlice. It's one of these products that you never knew how much you needed it and how much you wanted it until it was there, and then it's like bam. And we've known and been friends with Adrian, who's the founder and CEO of and an amazing musician himself of SoundSlice, and he really just nailed it with this product, developed it. It's constantly getting better.
Yeah.
We have it all over Open Studio. I mean, it's so thickly integrated in what we do that it's crazy, but it's such a delight to use the player, the elegance of it, and it does
The editor,
so much.
you can transcribe with it. You can actually
transcribe,
notate with
exactly.
it. Yeah.
And they're very much like, and it's also an online browser-based notation system.
Yeah, it's not software that you have to download.
And
or
we've
anything
seen
like
that develop over the last year and a half or so to an amazing level. So it's always getting better.
Yeah.
And we're very proud to be associated with them both on the podcast and at Open Studio.
Yeah, buddy.
So
Okay.
that's soundslice.com.
Soundslice.com.
Yep.
All right, today we have a question from an email. This is from Rick. Rick asks, I've been playing in London full-time for about 12 years now, and I'm lucky to have a Yamaha Grand at home for the last 3. My chops are pretty decent, I'd say, but occasionally I play a 9-foot Grand that just kicks my ass, and I lose so much facility and volume. It's usually the Steinways. Yamahas usually feel like home to me. Do you and Peter have any advice on how to deal with this? It's a horrible feeling to feel like you're wading through... I don't know what that word is. Treacle?
Triacle. I don't think that's a word.
I don't either. Are there any specific exercises for this? Does working out your back help? Many thanks, Rick. Well, I mean, you could work out your legs. You could do shoulder day.
Yeah. Oh, treacle. That's how you say it. I'm looking it up in the
It's
dictionary.
a real word.
Yeah, it's British term for molasses.
Oh. So we got lost in the lift elevator conundrum kind of thing.
That's right.
All right. Treacle's like molasses. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, this is sometimes you encounter, especially with bigger pianos, some that can maybe be a little bit sloggy. You got to be in good shape for sure.
Yeah. And I wonder if, there's the idea of the action being very heavy, we typically say, or, as I would say, not weighted. That's more like with the keyboard, but just heavy or tough.
Tough, yeah.
Yeah, but I think he's talking about specifically the piano and the amount of energy we have to put it in to kind of harness the sound, I think. But there's both different things, because you could have it's 9-foot Steinway or Yamaha or anything, a big piano that has a very light action, actually.
Yeah.
And maybe that wouldn't feel as much as treacle.
It's treacle.
I'm so excited about my new
I know.
word
This
now.
is actually really great. No, you know what though? This is a difference, because a lot of times it can be action, and it's not just how heavy it is, but it could be how deep it is. Maybe it's way too deep, and that can be a problem. That the key literally takes longer to hit the bottom.
Right, and that's like a regulation issue.
It's a regulation issue. Sometimes it could be the soundboard, in that it's your piano at home. Also, you're in great conditions at home, right? You're in a little room with a smaller piano, and it feels fast. The sound comes out fast and is controllable. Sometimes you're in a bigger room with a bigger piano, and if it's not a great loud piano, you can feel like you're really trying to push to get the sound out here.
Yeah.
There's, obviously you can practice to get more chops, to get stronger.
Yeah.
We like to do, I think for me, man, the exercise that you showed me is the 1-3-1-3-1-2-3 chromatic scale.
Mm-hmm.
it's a great exercise, Rick. It's just literally the chromatic scale using your thumb and your third finger, and then anytime there are two white keys in a row, it's your third and your second finger, so that you're really working out these larger muscles. That'll kind of help with some strength. Make sure to be playing every day. But then other than that, man, I would say actually you have to kind of use your imagination on some of this stuff sometimes.
Yes.
And you have to lighten up.
Yeah.
And you have to have your fingers in the key bed, not trying to push, not trying to slam, and let it come to you as opposed to going to it.
I totally agree. And I actually think that the better the sound and condition of an instrument, if you're doing it right, it should be the less work you're having to do. So if you do what you're saying in terms of really working with the instrument, then it should be less energy you're putting out. Now that is certainly tempered with the very valid concept of the larger the instrument, the more power it has, and so potentially the more to be able to harness that power in the way that you want to, the more sort of strength and agility you need to have. But I think the quality of it, that's where, if you can tap into that, which is sort of based upon the feedback you're getting in terms of how it's sounding as you play. So to your point of like different rooms and stuff, that can have a huge effect on that.
For sure.
But if the feedback of the sound that you're getting, and you're able to control the instrument kind of within the range of what you're trying to get it to sound, then you really shouldn't be getting as tired, I think. So that's why I'm wondering if this isn't a little bit of an action thing that Rick in UK, in London, is more used to that Yamaha action than a Steinway. And I think, in general, there's nothing wrong. Look, Yamaha makes some amazing pianos. Steinway makes some amazing pianos. These are, truly great companies. Fazioli, Bose & Darby. We know all the Kranich and Bach sitting right here by us.
I don't know if I would include that in the list.
Yeah, but, we want to stay away from just playing on one instrument as much as we can. I think, because you do get used to that, and that becomes like your skill set to be able to control an instrument is so much based around that instrument, and you're not always going to have that. We are not violinists or trumpet players or flautists that can always have our instrument. Yeah. And even they will tell you, though, when they get in different halls and stuff, if you're a flautist, that I just like to say that word because I'm so good at it, flautist.
The sound affects them.
A lot of people say flutist. But yeah, it does, and it makes it feel like the instrument's different and everything. But they know that they're on their instrument. Like for us, it's always like, wow, it's a new instrument. But we got to have that flexibility. So I would recommend to you, Rick, in London, is work into your practice routine, maybe a friend's house or a studio. Sometimes you can rent a studio. I actually had $1 million idea. I'll be happy to give it away to all you. You'll hear it, listeners.
What you got?
Which is like an app. It's almost like it would be like an Airbnb kind of app, but for practicing the piano. We have all these people with great pianos, especially in a city like London.
All right. Let's
Does that
trademark
exist
that
already?
And
Andrew, check that out if that's a valid idea. If so, this will never get heard.
Yeah.
No, but it's like people are going to work all day, and they have these beautiful pianos that are sitting there. Out of work jazz musicians just want to sit around playing a great piano all day. So some kind of system where you go in and for a couple bucks.
I'll be honest, you'd have to pay me a lot of money to let a jazz musician in my house when I'm not there. I've just known too many jazz musicians. No offense.
You're saying they wouldn't be using the piano. It'd be more like using the bar situation or whatever else.
It's a whole host of issues.
Yeah. I think it could be worked out, though, somehow. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but maybe you have a friend, maybe you have a school, and this is not about going to get better pianos, or you gotta be comfortable. It's just different, a little bit of practice on different pianos. I think our flexibility, we've talked about this before, comes from sort of being forced to do that all through. I mean, certainly when you're in school and whatever.
It's just what you have to deal with. I mean, you'll get to an important gig, and oftentimes the piano's not ideal,
Right, or it's not even there.
And you just have to learn how to deal with it, and it sucks, but it's part of the game. You know what I mean? That's what we don't have to bring our own stuff, which is nice, but then we have to deal with whatever's there.
Yeah.
Part of it, though, Rick, is a little bit, I think, in your head as far as just like, don't feel like you have to push. If there's an opportunity to have the sound in a monitor, which is not always the case, but in clubs or theaters, it's the case. Make sure you can hear yourself so that you're not overplaying. Right. If there's no monitor situation, I remember Sean Jones talked about this, about playing with pop bands and R&B bands that the horns are usually the quietest thing on stage compared to like the electric bass and the drums, right? So you have to use some imagination that you are louder than you are so that you don't overblow. And it's the same thing. I think about this all the time because oftentimes, especially if we're acoustic piano and there's drums and it's a situation where there's not great sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? we will have to use our imagination and deal with it
Absolutely.
and just not overplay. Keep it light. Keep in the keys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're playing any 9-foot piano in even moderately good condition, and because I think you said lose facility and volume, you're not losing as much volume as you think you are.
No.
I mean, the way that the piano is positioned, the way the sound comes out, depending on the room and stuff, but on a 9-foot versus like a 6-foot or even a smaller like baby grand is not that different sometimes to the pianist, but out in the hall or to the other people on stage, it's very different. So you have to kind of trust the instrument, depending on if you're playing acoustic. If you have a sound engineer, you have to kind of trust the sound engineer or go check it or have somebody doing that.
Truth.
But yeah, the sound is there for sure.
Cool. Well, again, today's episode was brought to you by Soundslice. Go to soundslice.com and follow this link here that we've put in the description to check out our Soundslice version of Emotion that you'll hear at theme.
That's how it goes.
Hey, you know what?
What?
Leave us a rating and review, too. We like those.
Man, why have we been off the radio? We've actually got, can I read one? Can I share one?
I know you'd like to.
Well, I mean, only if you'll let me. Okay, good. Let's go right ahead. Or maybe we don't have it. Oh, yeah, we do. Here we go.
Okay.
This is, the title of this is The 7-Star Review.
Yeah.
That's cocky right
Yeah.
there. This is an A 7-star.
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, this is from just a couple days ago.
Better be good.
Yeah. As a classical musician and composer looking to diversify my intellectual diet, this podcast is perfect. Not only do I get to spend quality time listening to great jazz, the podcast is stimulating and keeps my mind open to different sounds, ideas, and philosophies. I'm grateful that my friend recommended this podcast to me, and I continuously pay it forward, recommending it to those who will give it a chance. By CL Thomas Music from the USA. Thank you so much, CL. And yeah, if any of you guys, if it's upon your heart to pay it forward and share this on Twitter, the internet's Instagram, Snapchat, wherever you want to share it.
Wherever.
Share it, baby. Yeah, share and share it on the YouTubes, wherever you want, man. It's all good.
We love it.
Yeah.
We love it.
Till
You'll hear it.
tomorrow. You'll hear it.
You'll hear it. Still rusty.
Still rusty.
Put
can
that
go
one
back
on the
remote.
old.
You want me to go into the Catalyst Lounge and we can go remote?
No, that's harder. Put that one, Andrew, on the bloopers. This too.
Yeah, put it all in the bloopers.
Jeez.